many of the people who will see the content that I'm doing come from my particular industry in itself. Now, those of you who do not know me, I am and have been a full-time professional martial arts dojo operator and teacher. And I've been involved in the martial arts for over 35 years now. Excuse me. But as I've been investigating the changes that technology has caused in our world, I began to see enormous holes in the things that I was teaching on a dojo floor, because the focus has typically always been on the various physical aspects as well as psychological aspects to self-defense. However, I saw the incredibly huge problem that is created by the loss of privacy specifically. Now, I decided that the best way that I could address that is the way I address many things, which is to produce something to address the idea directly. And with that in mind, I'm going to be putting together the book that you see forward. This was the tentative cover and the tentative name for it, but it'll probably stick, which is Revelations in Online Security and Privacy. I've written a lot of books, but this is going to be the largest project I've ever done because it's very vast in scope, and its vastness and scope makes it complex. But there was information that I came upon yesterday that made me decide that I really had to do this, even though I don't really want to do it. I'll be honest, I hate writing books. I'm always happy when they're done and with the work that's been done, but the process is not what I find pleasant to do. That's fairly common for people who do write books. I mean, if I was writing fantasy, it might be different. Non-fiction, it would be different. But everything I've written is non-fiction, and that requires an awful lot of very deep thought to get everything worded correctly, so that people can relate to what you're saying. In case you're wondering what's in the background there, that's my instance of Nextcloud, in which I'm currently doing a little bit of backing up to as we were doing this. Now, what did I come across yesterday that made me decide to do this? I discovered the problem was worse than I thought it was. And I thought the problem was really, 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 really bad. I wasn't expecting to hit a revelation that made it worse. Now, everything that I've talked about in this on this channel is not conspiracy theory. I have lots of conspiracy theories if you'd ever like to hear them, but that's not why we're doing this. While this is very conspiratorial, it's fact, and it's well-documented fact that we are talking about. None of these things are secrets. And the best way to get people to ignore something is to tell them about it, and then tell them it's in their best interest, especially. Now, one of the things that you always have to remember about the reasons for the tremendous amount of surveillance that goes on today is couple-fold. One, if something is free, you become the product. That has always been the case. It doesn't matter what it is. When any kind of business or entity gives you something gratis, you are paying for it in some other way. Today, you are paying for that with your data. And your data is worth more than any other commodity in the world today, including oil. And that should just really, really scare you. And I've said that before, that should really scare you. And when things happen slowly, oftentimes you just simply don't notice them. And this has been basically a better than 20-year march towards where we are today. Now, first thing you have to get your head around is absolutely everything you do online, and you are always online, is recorded. Everything. Every keystroke that you make. If you're going to do a search on Google and you don't finish the search, you know how you start typing into Google and it gives you suggestions. That's because Google is actively alive in that browser. That's not something that's stored in a cache file someplace doing you that. That is Google interacting with you and the web page. So if you type in a partial search query, that is recorded by Google, whether you finish it or not. You do not have to push enter or send that search to get the results for that to be recorded. It is recorded. And all data on the internet, all of it, goes through a tunnel at one of the AT&T buildings in the United States, in which the NSA has an office in which all of the backbone goes through there for them to capture, index, and analyze at a later date. And I will go into that in the book. That is proven fact, not conspiracy. They see everything. So how can they see everything? Because the origins of the internet are the American government, the American military. They have always had 100% control over the entire project, including at a time after it was released for public use. Now, when you think about the NSA, of course, it stands for the National Security Agency. You would think that they would be all about security, while when it comes to the analyzing and the control of incoming data, the accumulation of data, they are second to none in the world for their technical prowess. They actually do little to nothing with regards to security. So not only is all of your data indexed with the NSA, it's also not encrypted. They encrypt virtually nothing, which means if you get into the NSA, you have access to all that data. And do you see a problem with that? I know I certainly do. The big companies, the big tech companies have, everybody calls for the government should do something. No. Please lose that thought. You need to do something. You need to take back your privacy as much as is possible. We are past the point of no return when it comes to what's going on. We will never stop this motion now. This is no longer a snowball running down a mountain. Okay? The only thing that can be done at this point in time is to make your own life more secure, and hoping that enough people do it that it makes the job of the NSA far, far harder. Now, I've had people say to me, well, they catch criminals by doing this. Certainly they do. But are you a criminal? Then why are you being watched? Because it doesn't take much to become a criminal if they decide that there's something that they just don't like. See, data is a very deep subject. This is not just the email that you send out to somebody. There's something that's attached to that called metadata. And metadata is data about the data. And that is actually what is seen first. That is how you can become a person of interest very easily, is by that particular metadata. The subject is complex, the subject is deep, and in this book I'm going to break it down the very best I can in a step-by-step process, and also in the final chapters of the book I'm going to teach you the things that you can do to make this difficult for them. If enough people make it difficult for them, you create an amazing effect where they will stop bothering with certain groups of people, because there's lower hanging fruit. Now, we don't just have to worry about the government. The very fact that this data is hackable means that we also have to worry about other malevolent forces that may be interested in this. We have to worry about marketing. And not all businesses are scrupulous. It can be, in today's world, ethics and business don't go hand in hand so much anymore because everybody has become money and power hungry. 1984 was not a novel of fiction. it turned out to be an instruction manual. I also suggest you read that if you haven't already. So guys, there will be a link below in which you can read more about this book and find out about its release dates and all of that. And I'm actually finishing this video. I'm going to start on it right now today because I'd like to have it out for Christmas, even though that's optimistic on my part. Have a great day, guys. We will see you and talk to you tomorrow. Remember, stay safe, stay secure, keep your privacy to yourself. Don't forget to hit the subscribe for the channel, and definitely click the notification bell, and check out our Patreon because we need your help to bring this message forward. Have a great day, guys. Ciao.